So you wanna tell me that you have some 600 euros to spend on a motherboard? Well, maybe the MSI X99A Godlike Gaming Carbon is for you. Here is my small review. Alright, so where to begin with my review here? So a couple of months ago I decided it's time to upgrade my old ass Core i5 and my 780 Ti to a little bit newer system. And also I decided, hell with it, I'm going to build my own wall-mounted PC, my own wall-mounted chassis, so it's going to need the best of the best, kinda. So I saw a 5960X with a great price and I decided, okay, it's time to go X99 to go 2011 V3 socket. And I browsed away for different motherboards and this was perfect for me. It's a motherboard which costs almost 600 euros here in Estonia at least. But I decided, hell with it, I'm going to buy it. Because I looked up some reviews and I did see the motherboard performing really good in overclocking and in performance and in stability and everything. The looks, everything is pretty perfect, but that's what you want from a 560 euro motherboard. Anyway, so today I'm going to give you a small sneak peek or small review from me what this motherboard offers and is it worth to buy and my score or my rating for this motherboard. So where to begin with this motherboard? The entire motherboard itself looks absolutely stunning. I mean, it's really beautiful to look at and I'm pretty sure it's gonna look really amazing in my brand new wall-mounted PC with all those LED lights everywhere, which is powered by the MSI Mystic Light. And you can also change all the colors there and make it breathable. It's pretty insane, and it kinda helps me with taking out some LED strips, so I don't have to use LED strips so much in my new chassis. But also, why the motherboard looks so great is definitely the Dragon armor, which is covered mostly in. So Dragon armor is visibly hiding all those, some of those particular not so good looking parts, and maybe of course those parts that are really important. So definitely the Dragon armor on top of the motherboard really makes the motherboard stand out, and also which makes the motherboard stand out a little bit more, or well, in my case it looks pretty badass with that option, is the MSI steel armor, which is used in all of the PCI Express slots and the memory slots. So what is steel armor from MSI? It pretty much is a PCI Express and memory slot made from steel armor casing. So it makes those PCI Express slots and those memory slots a lot more sturdier, so you can put some heavier video cards or heavier memories in there with water cooling or stuff like that. So a really good option, but I think the best part is the looks. I mean, the looks with the Dragon armor it's just it's insane. And comboed it with the Mystic Light, it's absolutely stunning. But coming to performance, then yeah, this motherboard packs a punch into it. So I can't actually call it a 2011 V3. I have to call it a 2036 V3 motherboard, because this motherboard has some extra pins planted in it by MSI to get the maximum performance out of your extreme CPU. So that's a really good and nice option to have. those extra pins really give you a lot more stability in overclocking and a little bit more extra in overclocking. So definitely a really good board to choose when you wanna overclock your CPU and memory, of course. In terms of graphics, you can actually use 4-way SLI on it, so I don't think it will work on the brand new GTX 1080 series video cards. But then again, the option is there if you wanna test out some older cards, or you know, maybe in the future we'll see some quad SLI support in video games. But yeah, it's a nice option to have. And also, of course, you can use whatever other cards in those PCI Express slots there. And also this board has a really fast M.2 port with up to 32 gigabits per second speeds. And also this board comes with a U.2 extension for the M.2 slot, which is a new SSD solution which offers up to 24 gigabits speed rates for a SSD drive, which is a really good thing to have here. And coming to the audio, it has the Audio Boost 3 Pro sound card in it, which also has a 6.35mm audio output jack, which is really great to see. And also, that I love, a optical out. But coming to the ports that we can find behind the motherboard, we can find two USB 2.0 ports with a PS2 board, which is a kind of an odd decision here. If you ask me, I would have loved a couple of extra USB ports, but hey, PS2, back in action, I guess. And also we can find 5 USB 3.1 slots, which is kind of on a low side. That's what I thought about the PS2 slot there, that might be a little bit better option if we could have had the 2 extra USBs in place of the PS2 board there. But then again, it has a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type-C port, which is a really good option to have because USB standards are moving to the Type-C connector, and this motherboard has it, so you're kind of have a future-proof motherboard here. There's also 2 killer LAN ports. Killer LAN is pretty amazing stuff that MSI has worked on. So you can enable the killer LAN via software, so when you're gaming, the application chooses the best performance of your internet speed for that particular game and turns down the internet speeds on all of your other connections that you have in your PC or all kinds of other programs that might be using it. So it's a pretty good thing to have if you want to use the killer software. Also, we have the clear CMOS button, which is nice to have for the overclockers out there, and Wi-Fi outputs. So yeah, we have 2 Wi-Fi antennas. This motherboard has Wi-Fi in it, so you don't actually need to hook it up with a LAN cable. You can actually use Wi-Fi here. And also the Wi-Fi antennas are magnetic, so you can attach them onto your PC easily. But maybe steer those magnets a little bit further away from your hard drive disks. And of course, lastly, we find the audio outputs where we can see the 6.35mm audio output and also the optical out. But looking at the motherboard from a different angle, we can actually find 2 USB 2.0 and 3.0 ports for the front panel connector. And also we can find the port 80 status indicator, which displays you all kinds of different codes. So if you're having a problem with the motherboard or your PC, you'll get a code there, so you can look it up from the manual and see what the problem is. But when you're in Windows gaming or doing whatever, you can actually see the temperature of your CPU on it, which is pretty nice to have. In terms of SATA boards, we can find 10 of them there, and also one is a SATA Express board. And next to that we have the ATX 24-pin cable, of course, and next to that we have a special place where to check out the exact voltages of the CPU, memory and whatnot with the multimeter, which is also a really nice thing to have. That kind of concludes all the different kinds of ports. There are some more there, like the LM2 switch, the slow mode switch. So if you're using cooling like liquid nitrogen or dry ice, which I did like 10 years ago, then you have the slow mode switch there, so you can put up more slowly, and the cold temperatures won't hinder your performance or the survivability of your system. So yeah, a pretty decent motherboard all around. It also has a extra 4-pin 12 volt connector there, so you can overclock your CPU even more. So yeah, a really good board overall. And what I do like and do love about the board especially is the Mystic Light, and you can control the Mystic Light via the MSI gaming app, and it gives you all kinds of different options, different layouts, and you can definitely use static colors there also if you don't want to see any waveforms or flickering going on your motherboard. But it still has really cool options there, so check them out if you can, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna find something really interesting there. So that's a really good, nice little option to have. So all in all, it's a pretty perfect motherboard, but it is kind of expensive. But then again, if you're buying a X99 system, I guess you're used to expensive parts. So yeah, my final verdict for this motherboard is 8.5 out of 10, which is a really good result actually for a motherboard. I would have put it a little bit higher, because it is a pretty complete motherboard, but the price is a little bit, you know, crispy. But then again, it is the best out there in, well, that's what I think at the moment. One of the best, the very best X99 motherboards you can buy right now. So if you have the money, definitely check out this board. You won't be disappointed. It's a really great product, and a tremendously good job and effort from MSI making this board. So can't wait to see what they're bringing up next year and the year after that, because I'm pretty sure they're on the right pathway where to head right now. They're making all the right decisions right now, so it's really great to see MSI doing so good at the moment. But yeah, this concludes my review from the MSI Godlike Gaming Carbon, and stick around maybe, because I am building my PC and I'm gonna make some videos from it, and when my PC is done I can finally make some gameplay videos and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely hang around, so hit that subscribe button, and if you like the video, learned something new or something, leave that like button, and also leave me a comment or two about what motherboard you have at the moment in home, and what are your thoughts on upgrading right now. Do you want to get the X99 system or something else? Leave me a comment and I will be gladly answering it. So that's it from me right now. It's been a pretty long half hour of talking into my camera in foreign language. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video here, and I'll see you soon, I hope. Ciao for now.